So this practice today is yoga for motivation. And I chose motivation because, you know, lately watching the news and everything that's going on in the world, sometimes I feel myself almost paralyzed. Like I really just don't want to do anything but, Netflix and chill, as they say. But I know I need to keep moving because, yeah, if you don't move it, you lose it. And so I thought, well, let's do a practice where we come to practice and we're like, ugh, I don't feel like moving. So we're going to start out with that idea, like, I don't feel like moving. And then move up to poses that are more, more active. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about how you move from the state of like, to a state of feeling more energized. And that's, requires change in the brain. And there's a research that I keep going back to that was done maybe about 25, 30 years ago. So we know a lot more about the brain than we did 25 years ago. And one of the studies was by a researcher named Dan Siegel. And he said the way you change the brain is, I have an acronym for it, PRAN. You have to want to, you have to have some sort of interest in whatever you want your brain to learn. So if you're bored by it or you think, this isn't something I really care about learning, then your brain's not going to change. The next one is you have to pay attention. So while you're learning, you can't be multitasking. So we have learned that multitasking really is not effective and it's not good for the brain. It has to have some sense of novelty, like newness. Not something that your brain has done over and over and over. It's got to have some, something that catches your mind. So let me see if I have it. Passion, you have to pay attention, novelty, and the R, Pran means breath in yoga, so that's my acronym. R is repetition. So whatever you learn, you have to repeat. And that's why we call yoga a practice. It's not I learned it, I did it, move on. So anyway, that's some research on the brain, and that's how we actually do get our brains to change. So let's get practicing. Okay, so we're going to get started simply by sitting in our chair, kind of wiggle a little bit. Yeah, and then we'll put our hands out to the sides, down, and go ahead and take a breath. And as you breathe in, let your arms kind of float up a little bit. And then when you exhale, firm the belly, sort of push out that breath, not too hard. Inhale, you're going to expand, the ribs expand, float out. And then exhale, sort of firm that belly again. And just go one more, breathe, feel that fresh breath coming in. And then exhale. Then we're just going to put our right hand on our lap, and this left arm, I want you to breathe into or breathe down that arm. So take a breath, imagine the breath going down, and then extend your fingers when you get to the end of the breath. And then exhale, close the fingers, draw the belly in slightly. We'll do that again. So inhale down that arm, extend those fingers, and then exhale back down. And then we're going to do those fingers, this leg. So step your left foot out, 2, and then fingers curled in. We're going to inhale, expand the fingers. Now lift your left toes and exhale back down. So kind of getting a stretch in this arm and leg. Inhale out to the tips of the toes and fingers. Exhale back. And go one more. Inhale. Flex that foot, toes up, fingers out. Exhale back. Yeah, and then just step that foot in, let that arm go down, and even just notice that simple bit of practice, how your arm feels, how this leg feels. And then we'll move to the other side. So now this side gets to rest and that side goes out. So hand relax on that right arm and then inhale down that arm, extend those fingers, breath going all the way to the tips, and exhale. So there's a lot of nerve endings. Inhale, expand at the tips of our fingers. They're very innervated. And go one more, feel out to the tips. And exhale. Now we're going to get the right leg in the action. So inhale down that right arm, lift up those right toes, and then let the toes drop, fingers curl in. Inhale, lift those toes, fingers out. Exhale back. We'll go one more. Inhale, expand those fingers, toes to the ceiling. Exhale back. Yeah, and then bring that arm and leg in. Notice that side. It's like, okay, all right, I feel my arms and legs coming alive. Now we're going to cross the brain. And that's contralateral movement is good for the hemispheres of the brain talking to each other. So we're going to take this left hand, right foot, and then soften that hand, foot on the floor, and then inhale, expand, lift the toes, and you may want to lift that leg, and then exhale, come in. Inhale, maybe you want to go a little higher. You don't have to. Exhale back and go one more. Reach it out, toes up, and then let it go. So just notice how your breath feels, how the body feels, what's your energy level. We're going to move on to the other side. So left foot goes out. Inhale down that right arm. Left toes lift. Exhale, bring it on down. Inhale. And down. And go one more. Breathe in. And then let it all go. And then just step that foot in, both hands down, and just notice both sides have stretched a little bit. We're starting to feel like we actually did something. Sometimes all you need to do is one thing to get started. One thing to get started. So we're going to move on. I want you to step each foot out one step and then just lean side to side. So we're going to rock it out. And just feel when you move side to side, like the weight moving from one sits bone, you could feel it to the other. So just, and there's actually, of course, there's nerves everywhere, but the nerves at the base of the sacrum, when you rock on them, it activates that parasympathetic nervous system. That rest and digest, calming part of our nervous system. Yeah. So then we'll come back to center, back to the middle, bring both feet in, and we're going to bring this left hand down. I want you to turn the palm up and scoop in some energy. So scoop it up and bring it over and just breathe into this left side. And then soften the elbows, soften the shoulder. Do that again, breathing in, repetition, right? Exhale. And on this last one, we're going to hang here. Breathe and then let go. And you can let your chin drop down if that feels more comfortable, looking down like at your right knee. And then maybe you want to move your head left and right. Just feel a little rotation in the neck muscles. And then we'll come back up. So that was a long stretch on this left side. Just notice how that felt. And we'll come to the other side. So right hand scoops up some energy. And then exhale back down. Ready? Scoop it up. Come over. Breathe. And then let it go. Right? Repetition. One last time. Come over. So you're breathing. Now you're stretching the intercostal muscles, and your right lung actually has more room to breathe. Not that you're just breathing through that, but it's got more room. Just let your head relax and then move your head a little left and right. Get some neck movement. And then we'll come back up. So take a breath, come up, and then exhale back down. And then we'll bring the hands now back on the ribs, right at the tops of the ribs. Exhale first. And as you inhale, I just want you to feel how your ribs float out. And then exhale. Firm that belly slightly. Inhale, let the ribs expand. And then exhale. Let's go one more. Breathe it on in. And then let it go. Big let go. You know, one of the reasons we get exhausted if we're anxious and stressed out is often we are not completing our exhales. So we're taking a lot of that kind of breath, inhaling, but we're not stopping to go to let whatever you brought in go back out again. So we're going to be intentional about that in this practice today. So go ahead now and bring your feet in close to you. We're going to raise up the right knee and put your hand underneath that knee. And then just bring the knee in towards your chest, your belly really, and then exhale, let it go. So we'll come up, bring it in, and exhale. And I think I've shown you before, maybe not Karen. And exhale, how this movement, go ahead and let that foot go down, is really helpful to stretching the low back. So come up and down. Up, and here's your exhale. I know it's kind of counterintuitive because you're pressing that breath out. Take a breath when you let the knee go away. Exhale when you bring it in. And then inhale, letting it drop. So if you were laying on your bed or on the floor, you could bring both knees in. And that's nice too. So bring that foot down and we're going to just stop, notice. You know, that's part of the awareness. How did that feel in the body? Did that feel good? Do I feel a little stretched in the back yet? Just without judgment, just notice. All right, let's go back to this right leg. You can even put your hands on top of the leg if you want, or you could put one here and one under. We're going to extend that leg out and then bring it back down. And when you extend it out, I want you to lift up the toes, flex that foot, and then bring it down. And we'll go one more, lift, 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 and then bring it down. So we're starting to put that foot down, lift up the other. Some stretches in our hamstrings. We'll inhale, lift, exhale out. Again, thinking of that breath going all the way down that leg like we did our arms. And exhale. And then go one more lift. And then exhale. And then set that foot down. Both feet are down. Feel your feet on the floor. Sort of press into the floor like you're grounding yourself. And then release that pressing. And we're going to bring this right leg up again. Put your hands underneath the leg or on top, underneath the knee or on top of the knee. Extend that leg out. And then I want you to lower halfway. And then inhale back up. Bring that leg up. Exhale, lower halfway. And then inhale back up and go one more. Exhale, lower halfway. Then inhale back up and then exhale, bring that leg all the way down. And then just rest that foot in. We're going to bring the other leg out. Hold under that knee or in front. And then come out with that foot up. And exhale halfway. You can do it without holding two, up and halfway. And go one more, up and then halfway. Then we'll go all the way up, up, up. And then let that foot rest on the floor. And just feel maybe into the hips a little bit. All the way up the backs of the legs. And we'll go back to this right leg, letting that foot come out again, holding underneath the knee. And then we're going to stir the soup. So I want you to just bring that foot around in a circle. The foot's not flexed. It's just soft. Around. And feel that movement, maybe even, like I said, up into the hips. And we'll go the other way. So we're stirring the soup the other way. So let's stir the soup big on this side. Coming around. And again, feeling all the way up into that hip. And then reverse. So think of your favorite pot of soup. What do you like to make? I talked to Connie a couple of days ago. Her husband Steve has been really sick. He's got pneumonia. And yes. And I've just been texting with her every day. How's Steve doing? And she said, I'm bringing out the big guns today, matzo ball soup. So maybe you're stirring a pot of matzo ball soup. And I guess that could be a good soup for today, Rosh Hashanah, the high holiday, and Happy New Year, right? So we're going to bring that foot back down. Feel all the way up into that hip. You may even want to take your hands and kind of, you can even get your knuckles in it. And then your low back a little bit. Yeah. And then just let your hands open and close a couple times and move your wrist. We haven't moved our wrist yet. other way. And then we'll curl the fingers in slightly and then move the wrists. Just totally different feeling. And then the other way. All right. And then we'll bring this left hand to the right wrist. And I want you to just rotate the arm and then your hand all the way up that arm. And then back down again. Just feel that nice massage. And we'll go to the other side. So right to left, just back and forth, just rotating. Yes. And just enjoy this little bit of self-massage. Yeah. And then we'll release when you're ready. Bring the hands back down. And we're going to come up to standing pose, back up to mountain pose. So come on up. So our energy is starting to hopefully flow a little more and moving into being more motivated, because like I said, we started our class off as if we're like, I'm dragging myself to yoga. So nice and slow, and now we're actually going to get up out of that chair and start moving, right? So bringing your arms down by your sides, we're just going to do what we did at the very beginning of class, which is arms down by the sides, and then inhale, feel your ribs float out, arms come up slightly, and then exhale. And you can even inhale, straighten the legs a little, and then exhale, bend the knees. In, and bend, and go one more, bring it out, and then back in. Yes, and then just move those shoulders around. You can roll them back and roll them forward. All right. And then just notice how that felt. Yeah. We're going to step just one step with each foot a little wider. And then I want you to take this left hand, left elbow actually, and bring it on your right palm, right there. And we're going to take that hand, left hand, to the right side. And we moved our shoulders. Now let's just massage down the neck a little bit. This is one way to motivate yourself into coming to class, right? I'm going to get a little massage. Yeah. And then we'll do the other side. So this left hand comes out, your right elbow goes on the center of the palm, and then that right hand goes to the opposite side of the neck. And just massage. Yeah. And then release down, let the hands rest, wiggle the fingers, and then we'll come behind the chair if you want to use a chair, or just stand where you are. You don't have to come behind the chair. I'm going to go behind the chair so I can model that. We're going to stand close to the chair first, and then take a big step back with both feet. Both feet go back. Then take your left leg and step it forward. So your left leg steps forward. I'm going to go back and help my mom just a moment. Let's turn this way. And you could watch me up there.
Okay.
Hold on to the back of the chair.
All right.
Okay? So we're taking our left foot back and put your left hand on the hip. Left hand on the hip. And then we're going to raise up this right hand. And we're going to bring that hand down and then inhale it up. Bend that knee, bring that hand down and inhale up. Now we're going to switch. Take that left hand on your hip, bring your right hand in the air. So we're going contralaterally. So bring that arm down now and then inhale up when you bend the knee. Exhale back down. Do it again. Inhale, get long in the spine, lift up. Exhale down. And go one more, up, 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 up. And then exhale down. And then just have both arms down and step forward. We're going to step forward, let the feet come slightly apart. You're in mountain pose. Do a little grounding, rebounding. Breathe. And then I'm going to take my chair and move it. You don't have to. Step both feet back again. And then your other foot will come forward. So bring now your other foot forward. Put the hand on that side. Put the hand on that side. And then you're going to inhale, come up. Leg straightens. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale down. Now let's go one more up. Exhale down, and then we're going to switch. Put that hand that's been moving on your hip. The other hand goes down by the side. Inhale up, same side. Straight leg, straight arm. Exhale down and in. And exhale down. Now let both arms come up. Both arms come up. And then bend your front knee in this warrior pose. Just like that. Okay? And if your shoulders are hurting, go low. Relax, more of a cactus arm than an arms up in the air. All right? Woo. And then I want you to bring the hands to the chair if you're going to use it for balance. And we're going to lower slightly. And as you're lowering, lift your back heel and your opposite arm. And then put that heel down, lift that arm up. Then come again, come forward, lift your back foot. If you want to do some balancing, you can lift the whole foot. Bring that foot down. Inhale, either both arms or one arm up. Exhale, come forward, lift. Maybe both arms out or arms out to the sides. Exhale back down and go one more. Inhale up. And we're going to hold this. So if you want to, you could just keep your foot on the floor, just with the heel raised. Maybe let the other hand go, maybe not. Maybe you need to bring both hands to the chair. Whatever works for you. And then we'll let that foot come down. Bring your hands right here to the heart and step forward. All right, just pause, breathe. Feel your heart beating. We're starting to move into more active poses. All right, now we're going to do the other side. Again, I'm going to flip my chair, but you're just going to flip the foot that's back. So step your other foot back. Step your other foot back. And we're going to lower. And then we'll raise that opposite heel back heel, and opposite arm. And then back down. You can raise that arm up. Come back forward, lift that back heel, and exhale down. And go one more, come up, and maybe lift that heel all the way up. Lift up the belly. Hold, don't hold. Do what challenges your body if you care to. And when you're ready, we're going to bring that foot back down again. Raise both arms in the air. You can do cactus arms. Breathe. Bring the hands to the chest, center of the chest, and just step back up to where your feet are on the same railroad track. Yes. Feel the heartbeat. Notice how your body feels, how your energy is feeling. And then let go, let go, let go. Yeah. And then just kind of shake it out, wiggle, jiggle. And then we'll stay behind the chair. And we're going to, again, you don't have to move your chair. We're going to stand behind the chair like we did before. We'll get in the same leg position that you do for Warrior Two. So step both feet back. And then I'm going to lead with my right foot. Step the right foot halfway to the chair. Left foot comes slightly further back. And then make sure both feet, you have some width between the feet. And we're going to raise both hands in the air or keep your right hand in the air. In fact, let's keep that right hand in the air, okay? So you have both hands first. Then raise that right hand. Now we're going to do something different than we did in the last pose. Bring that arm down and pretend it's connected to your left leg. So we're going to step that left leg forward towards a chair. Your back foot, knee comes up towards a chair, and your right arm is raised. Then bring that left foot back and raise the left arm. So bring that left arm down, raise up your right arm, raise up your left knee. This is the Charleston. We're doing the Charleston. Bring that foot back and raise your opposite arm. So listen again. Your left hand comes to the chair, your right arm raises up, your left knee comes up. And then bring that foot back and raise up that same side arm, your left arm. And then we'll do one more time. Left hand comes to the chair. Right hand lifts, left knee lifts. And then bring that foot down and raise the opposite arm. Now we're going to switch. So bring both hands to the chair, boom. Step up, both feet are on the same railroad track. Now step back your right leg. So your left leg's leading now. Step back your right leg. There you go. And then you're going to have the left arm in the air. Okay? And as that left arm starts to go down, I want you to lift up the right knee. Then bring that foot back and raise that other hand. Now we're going to switch. Bring that left hand to the chair, right hand down by the right leg. Right hand by the right leg. Lift up and then bring that hand down and lift your other arm. Lift up and then foot goes back, lift the other arm. Left hand goes down, right knee up, right arm up, and then back down. Yeah. And if you're getting frustrated and your brain's going, what are you doing? That's a good thing, because the brain needs a little something to keep it interested. So remember, I told you the brain changes through novelty. You know, if you've never done something before, it's a new thing. It's a new thing for your brain to learn. All right, so we're going to come back to the chair and just have a seat here for a moment and pause to center. Breathe. Yeah. And we're going to do something that's symmetrical, because we've been doing cross contralateral and asymmetrical things. So I just want you to bring your thumbs all the way up, like in that crease at the tops of your legs, and then place your fingers down. Hug your elbows in and lift the heart. Just lift the heart. And then start to let your hands come down and round. And then go ahead, inhale, come up. Thumbs come back up, chest lifts. Then exhale back again. Go one more, inhale, come up. And then exhale back. Beautiful. Just come back up to this neutral position. So in our next pose, we're going to do a moving twist. We're going to bring this right foot over to the side, and then right shoulder back, and both hands on the top of this right leg. Take your left hand on top of the right, and with an inhale, inhale up that right arm to the shoulder, over to your opposite shoulder, and open. And exhale, come back. Again, breathing in, imagine that breath coming up the arm, filling up the chest and lungs, and exhale down. And we'll go one more, breathing in, open, and then releasing. And we'll just bring the hands in and back to the center, and we'll bring this left foot out. So open up that left shoulder, both hands towards the left leg. Put your right hand on top. And inhale, breathe in, up that right arm, across the chest, open. And then exhale, release. Inhaling. And letting go. And go one more, breathe. And exhale, release. And then we'll just bring those hands back right to the center. And just pause. Pause and notice. Just take a breath. And then inhale, go ahead and press your palms together, lift up, breathe, and exhale. Come back to that same point. We'll do that again. Come up, breathe. Now on the way down, I want you to stop in the middle of your eyebrows, in the middle of the forehead. This third eye is what it's called in yoga. It's the seat of intuition, right? It's a good acupressure point for calming. And then we'll just bring the hands back down to the chest again. Now I want you to bring your hands into eagles. So cross where your wrists are crossed, and then backs of the hands together. We'll inhale, come up, and then kind of draw your elbows together, and then fly out. Let the hands come down. And we're going to switch which way our wings are. So whatever arms on top, switch it. Okay, backs of the hands together. Go ahead, inhale, press the backs of the hands together, come up, and then exhale, we'll fly out. We'll do that again, but this time we're going to stop at that third eye, up, and then exhale to the third eye, breathe, and then back down to the heart again, and go a big flap of your wings, arms out. And then go ahead, turn your palms toward me, and then bend the elbows and draw your shoulder blades together in the back. Soften a little bit, bring the hands in, and then open up again. Breathe. Soften, and then breathe. Yes, and then back again. Bring your hands all the way back in. And just pause here at the center of the chest. And we'll keep our fingertips together and then just bring the hands out. And bring those fingertips right in the center of the chest, above the chest. And then lay those fingertips right in the center. And come out to the sides. So we're going to slide out like a massage out to each side. So I talk a lot about how the breath is so important, how we breathe, and there's a lot of muscles associated with breathing. So right here we're touching some of them. So when we get tight across the chest, sometimes it can even feel like you got a hand on your chest. You know, it impedes breathing, that deeper breathing. So it's nice to have this little bit of a massage. And then we'll come back again towards the center. We did this last week. Feel your collarbones are right there. And then come just below the collarbones on each side. So it kind of dips down. And we'll keep thumb on this left side in that point below the collarbone. And then put your fingers on the other point. Right there below the other collarbone. And just massage there. Be gentle. Sometimes this area can be really tender. Actually has a name, kidney 47. It's an important point in Chinese medicine healing. Now what's this other hand do? Bring it on your belly. And it doesn't have to do a darn thing. You don't have to pat your belly and chew gum and rub around or anything like that. Just let it nurture. Feel the warmth of your hand. Your hand, we have energy in our hands. We have energy because when you touch somebody or somebody touches you, you feel it. You feel that sense of touch. And if it's done in a compassionate way, you feel the energy of that touch. So have that own sense of compassion for yourself, for your belly, for your digestive system. And you can tap now where we were massaging. Again, calming to the nervous system, activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And then just release all of that. Release all of it. Bring your hands down and just pause for a moment. Rest. Feel your feet on the floor. Maybe wiggle your toes in your shoes, or if you have naked toes, let them wiggle. And then we'll just rest those feet down. Rest those feet down. And now we're going to slide forward. So letting your hands dip below your knees, and you don't have to go all the way down. In fact, I don't want you to. And then come back up. So your hands are just sort of sliding along, coming back up. And then raise your hands in the air like you're going, yes. And then bring those hands now in the backs of on the backs of your legs. And then we're going to come down the backs of the legs. And that's actually, what is that? Kidney for it's a liver meridian. Come back up. I hope I'm right. I'll tell you in the class notes. We'll come back down the front. And then it's the bladder meridian. The backs of the legs are the bladder energy meridian. And then hands back down on the tops of the legs, slide down. And then come back up the backs of the legs all the way up, 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 up. And just let your hands come up to the top. And then soften in those elbows. Take your right hand and put it on your left wrist. And we're just going to come over, lean over. And like we did at the beginning class, breathe into that left side, those intercostal muscles. Inhale, come back up. Then exhale back over again. Again, if we're talking about muscles that are involved in breathing, these are some of them. And again, coming over. And then back up. And then just stop, let go. Notice the difference from this left side to the right. Take a breath again, just free breath. And then we'll come back up again. Now we're going to hold on to this wrist, the other wrist, and inhale into this right side, those side muscles. Exhale. Over, breathe. And release. And one more. And then release. And then just let both hands go. Just kind of float down, float down, float down. And we'll bring the fingertips now up and right in the center of the forehead. So come out to the sides. You could tap or massage. And we'll go into the temples, just a little massage there. Breathe, don't forget to breathe. And then if you're affected by the ragweed that's blooming right now, you might enjoy this. Just below the cheeks, you can kind of activate into the sinuses by massaging under the cheekbones. And then we'll draw a mustache. Come to this above your mouth and out. You can make it a handlebar. Out. And out. And now bring your fingers right on either side of the jaw and we'll press up towards the cheek muscles. Up. Up. And then we'll massage the jaw. So right where it meets up there, just massaging into that area. If I have any fellow teeth clenchers, this probably feels good to you. And then we're going to drop to the neck. There's a lot of adrenal glands in the neck, and we're going to massage the neck. So you can go down or out to the sides. Just giving yourself some movement in your lymphatic system. More movement. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring those healing hands down to the legs. Take a breath and let it go, 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 go. Yes. And then settle in, maybe go a little bit further to the back of your chair. And we'll extend that right leg out. It's got a little more support of the chair bottom. You can lean back into the back of the chair and then point your toes, reach your fingertips, and feel that, almost like that line of energy come all the way down to the toes from your left fingers. And then just let it go. Now we're going to do that same thing, but I want you to imagine that these fingers are connected to those toes and lift up just slowly and back down. Do it with breath. So inhale, lifting, and exhale. And then we'll go one last one and we'll stay there. Maybe come off of the back of the chair. Feel your spine long. And then soften, soften, soften. And then lean towards the back of your chair again. We're going to let this right arm and left leg reach and feel that line of energy come from these reached out fingertips all the way down to the toes on that left leg. And then just soften, soften, soften. And then we'll connect the two. So up, and you can come off the back of the chair for a longer spine. Optimal breathing. Inhale, lifting. Exhale. And one more lift. And then exhale. Yes. Both feet on the floor, nice and settled. And then we'll take a few moments for Shavasana, just in quiet for just a few moments, listening to the sounds around you. Eyes closed or soft. Maybe attention inward towards that third eye. And if you feel yourself holding anywhere, can you let go a little more? And then we'll bring the hands together and at the chest, breathing in courage and strength and energy and motivation. I hope you're feeling more motivated than you did at the beginning of the practice. And I hope this practice has resonated in your spirit, your body, actually in your mind, but they're all connected. They're all one. And then our closing chant, you can just bring the hands out, is by Bob Marley. You might have heard of this song. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. You can sing it with me. Nobody can hear you. Don't worry about a thing. You could groove a little. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing. Yeah. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Yeah, bring your hands together and right in at heart center. Namaste, friends. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here.